This is a good one. Why is intermittent fasting or longer term fasting bad for you? I have a friend who has had insulin resistance for many years and under the guidance of a nutritionist has done 72-hour fasts, kill me now, and says she feels amazing, healthy, and has lost 10 kilos and her bloods are showing improvement. And I'm like, well, I guess what's the definition of healthy?
Feeling of adrenaline.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a couple of things. So first of all, the real test of health is if she stops doing that, whether she'll continue to be healthy. Anybody can be healthy. I mean, I shouldn't say healthy. You can feel good on like, let's say on fasting, right? If you have an insulin resistance or diabetes, yeah, if you restrict sugar, I mean, your doctor will be happy and the numbers will look good. That doesn't mean you're healthy. Second of all, the real test is actually, it's called the insulin sensitivity test. And you actually go to a doctor and you get a so-called glucose challenge. So that's what determines if you're really healthy, not your blood results. So you go and actually they give you to drink, I think a glass of like 75 grams of pure glucose. And then they measure your insulin response and then your blood sugar and how quickly it rises and how quickly it succumbs. So, and falls down. So that's really the test. And then there's a more intensive test where they do like these glucose challenges several hours in a row. And they usually do them with pregnant women for gestational diabetes. My wife had to do it several times. And basically, we for some reason they don't care about privacy. There's this group of 10 women. They almost like herd them like cattle. Like they walk in, then they give everybody their glass of glucose, right? And then they drink, and then they sit there, and then the nurse sort of like comes along and then like finger pricks everybody and measures it. And their husbands are there too. We're sitting there chatting, right? But you get to hear what's going on, and then the nurse is berating some of them, saying like, "You see, I told you, like you're being overdoing the glucose. Look at your numbers." And some of these women were really thin. So they look like the spitting image of health, or at least the doctor thought they're really healthy because their fasting blood glucose was actually perfectly fine. So again, while you're fasting, yes, you will be losing weight. The question is, after you stop the fast, if you start gaining weight on even like a reduced calorie diet, then you've really ruined your health. That's really not a good thing you did over there. And you know, you probably upregulated your cortisol producing enzyme. One study showed that continued fasting, not intermittent, but continued, especially when combined with exercise, and especially when combined with exercise on an empty stomach, leads to a state of chronic hypercortisolemia. And it, in fact, became so severe that when the animals stopped this terrible regimen, they did not revert back to normal. They actually stayed in a state of diabetes. Or at the very least, hypercortisolemia, the insulin resistance was through the roof, and they had to give these animals a drug that blocks the cortisol receptor in order to get them back to normal. So all this fasting and elevated free fatty acids does, if done continuously, is get you into an insulin resistant state, which is masked while you're fasting. But as soon as the fast stops, then the weight will probably start piling on. So the real test is for that person is, what happens after you stop the fast? Because if you have to fast all the time in order to be healthy, I think we can all agree that this is not what health is supposed to be.